place to feed for a fish. There's no fish in here.
Too bad you can't come fishing, huh?
The Queen Mary set sail on her maiden voyage on May 27, 1936.
I worked my trip for the USA on the finest ship in the world, the Queen Mary.
She was glorious. She had a level of craftsmanship and luxury never seen before or since. Life on board the Queen was a continuous floating party. More than anything, the Queen Mary was about class. The attainment of it, the celebration of it, and the illusion of it. Champagne flowed like water, and a voyager on the Queen was an endless stream of laughter and good times. Her legend was surpassed only by the very famous people who flocked to travel aboard her, the likes of Karachi, the Digitized, the Queen Mother, the toast of Tinseltown, and the royals of the Rialto. Behind the gild of the elegant, she was a soundish and wedding. Queen Mary had held the speed record across the Atlantic. 14 years, and her officers were proud to serve aboard her, especially her first captain, who supervised her construction at the Clyde Bay. His name was Sir Edgar Britton.
Are you going to try for the blue ribbon, Captain? Well, naturally, that's what we're out for. What did we build her for?
5 months after her maiden voyage, Sir Edgar died. It is said that a ship's first captain claims her bridge forever. There have been many sightings of Sir Edgar, still walking her decks, watching over her ship, trying to guide the many captains that followed. In the 31 years that she sailed, 33 men as the Queen Mary.
She's got a soul. She doesn't have a soul. Her other ships haven't got the soul, but this ship has. There's something we can't really put your finger on. I think it's people. The people that belong to the ship.
Why did you disappear?
You got that? You got that? You got that?
I believe you would have to know. You don't know that.
They did. Why are they scared?
For some, the voyage never ended. And for others, it reportedly never began. On one Atlantic crossing, a wealthy man named Harry Bailey booked first-class passage on V-deck. One night, he called the ship's steward to his room, tipped him a 100-pound note, and asked him to find a certain young lady seated in the veranda grill. Shortly before midnight, a beautiful young woman knocked on the door of Suite B340. The next morning, the maid found her in bed, dead. There was no sign of foul play, so the ship's doctor had to conclude that she died of natural causes. Harry Bailey, he was nowhere to be found on the ship. In fact, when they checked, he wasn't listed in the register. Nor was there any luggage for a Harry Bailey in the ship's hold. Soon after her death, complaints began regarding Suite B340. Guests were doused with hot water. The heater didn't work. Lights would pop on and go off on their own. Passengers noticed a strong scent of lilac in the room, so they remodeled. Photographs of the room were taken. One taken when the room was empty shows the silhouette of a man profiled in the porthole matching the description of Harry Bailey. Harry Bailey. We only know his name. The steward and the passengers would be socialized. The young woman who was found dead in Harry's room worked on board as a lady's maid for one of the first-class passengers. However, ladies' maids were never allowed in the veranda grill. But she is still seen from time to time in the grand salon, lady in white, dancing alone to music that only she can hear. And then World War broke out again. There was no need for luxury liners during World War II, but there was a desperate need for fast ships. German U-boats only did about 10 knots. The Queen cruised at 28 knots. She was so fast, she could outrun German torpedoes. So they took off the champagne, painted her hull gray, and dubbed her the Gray Ghost. The Gray Ghost took nearly 1 million GIs to war. Many never came back. She pitched, rolled, swayed, and dipped her way across the North Atlantic. Troops' faces were as green as their uniforms. They complained to the cook that they were being served spoiled food. The cook assured them there was nothing wrong with his specialty. Cream, chipped beef on toast. But the men, sick and exhausted from the trip, became angry. Fights broke out. Finally, several men ganged up on the cook and threw him into a hot oven. Horribly, the cook was burned to death. Since that time, strange things happen in the kitchens. Dishes fly around by themselves. Bottles get opened. Supplies get dumped on the floor. I'm not surprised.
This thing takes a plate, flat plate across the room and busts right in the middle of the floor. It just lifted up in the air and flung it clear across the room and broke. I think it's hilarious. I really do.
Ellie has a new job, giving Tupperware parties. In 1945, the Lords of the Admiralty published a list of ships lost during the war. That was the first time the world heard the truth about the Curacao. The Queen's wartime route was a random zigzag across the ocean, important to keep the U-boats from getting a fix on her. If they get close to the coast of Ireland, British cruisers would take her into port, and the Curacao was one of those cruisers, sweeping the water to the mines, watching for enemy aircraft, trying to stay out of the Gray Ghost's way. It's a dangerous job. In fact, Hitler offered a $250,000 reward and the Iron Cross to the commander who would sink the Queen Mary. The waters off Northern Ireland were infested with German U-boats. October 2nd, 1942, 1400 hours. Queen Mary Senior First Officer Noel Robinson walks to the wing of the bridge and sees the Curacao dangerously close to the starboard side of the ship. The Queen steams down to the Curacao. Robinson frantically orders the helmsman to steer to port, but it's too late. The Queen Mary rams into the Curacao amidship, splitting the cruiser open. Completely in half.
I didn't think they would hit the ship, but after a few moments, I looked to the port side and she was in 2 halves.
But there's nothing we could do. We just had the steam on the same zigzag and the same speed.
The Queen was under strict orders not to stop under any circumstance. 329 sailors drowned in the North Atlantic that day. They will never be forgotten. After the war, the Queen was refurbished to her peacetime elegance. Passenger service resumed. More families traveled aboard the Queen than ever before. The ship was a wonderful place for children to play in and explore. The hallways, the stairways, the decks. In 1946, though, one child met with misfortune. That child was Lee Trevor Smith. Lee was born on the Queen, but was several months premature at the time when the ship's oxygen was very low. No incubator existed on board. Alerted, the Navy flew out 400 miles and stopped the ship, an unheard of event. Delivered the oxygen, and the Queen sped to her docks in New York. But not in time for Lee Trevor Smith.
And our shop was pretty close to the pool. I was walking towards the swimming pool going to the shop, and heard voices in the pool, water splashing, glasses clinking and ball bouncing, and I thought sure somebody got out of the hotel and get into the pool. So I went to check it out, turned the corner into the pool, and it was calm. No one there, no noise, everything just stopped.
The first-class pool is indoors and locked at night.
I was alone at the pool at the time, and I glanced over to my right, and I saw an elderly woman. I was going to call security, so I glanced up to the phone. When I glanced back, I didn't see her any longer, so I went down to the staircase and around the pillar, and she was gone. There wasn't any place for her to go.
The ship's crew is her life's blood, her soul, and while the Queen Mary gave her crew a life of adventure and excitement beyond their imaginations, she was demanding. During the war, scores of German prisoners died while the Queen was transporting them from Suez to Australia, and at peacetime, women were found dead in the bunks. Cause unknown. Others were reported missing and never heard from again. And all 16 crewmen died on board. July 10th, 1966, near the anniversary of the Queen's sailing to Bengal. The bridge cautiously orders all watertight doors in the engine and the boiler room close. The doors close 30 seconds after the alarm sounds. 30 seconds is all you have. It's a routine drill. Every fireman knows what to do. He hears the alarm sound. 20 seconds. 18-year-old John Petter, the fireman, engineers, made it only his third year. Watertight door did a speech in the chap valley where the house before. 10 seconds. He doesn't evacuate. He put off the rest of the ship to the all-clear sounds. 5 seconds. He score wins the time. He's the ball halfway. He's got to knock his head down and step over the bottom to make it in time. Poor John was crushed to death.
I was coming out of Shaft Alley up on the second escalator, going up out of the area. I felt the presence behind me and saw a man standing on the step directly behind me. He had very dark black hair and dirty blue overalls. And when I looked back, he was gone. He just disappeared. I feel like I know him, but it makes me sad because I never had any concept of what happens to people after they die. But the fact that he's still earthbound or still bound here, that makes me sad that he didn't go on. But I truly believe that that's him.
In 1967, about a year after John Petter died, the Queen Mary made her final cruise. She was still elegant, just as fat, just as smooth, but her world disappeared. Airplanes cut the Atlantic crossing. 5 days, a matter of hours.
I'm always very sorry to see a very nice ship end its days, but it's inevitable, of course, that both ships and us have a time limit, and the day must come when we go.
Some go. And some remain. Oh, we need to be afraid of the spirits that are here, they're friends. They're here to keep the Queen company. Keep her past alive. The past around her, her spirit can feel free and fly the open seas. Spirits remain in places where they have the strongest connections in life. Places of great joy, places of great sorrow. We're here because we belong here. On the day the Queen was launched, a psychic named Mabel Fortescue Harrison predicted that the Queen Mary would know her greatest fame and popularity when she never sailed another mile. Well, finally that time has arrived. We've truly found our home. Please enjoy your stay on the Queen Mary after all. You never know how long it may last. Bon voyage.
They have like pieces you get that for like Halloween and stuff. They have like a jacket. I know. 20. Hey, I can just bring your stuff. I like this. People survive.
Mom, we're gonna go looking around the top floors.
Me too. I want to 44.
Oh, that over there? The dock.
The dolphins are where they painted it.